This is why ice doesn't heal injuries of your muscles or joints, and what you can do instead to actually heal them faster. So if ice doesn't work, why do so many people still use it? This is due to misinformation and people thinking that a temporary reduction in pain and inflammation is the same thing as healing, and I will show you why this isn't the case and it's actually counterproductive. You may have heard of the Rice method for repairing injuries, or rest, ice, compression, and elevation. And this was made in 1978, although ice was used long before then. And the guy who made this principle, Dr. Gabe Merkin, actually renounced it in 2013, and he said, subsequent research shows that ice can actually delay recovery. There are no studies that demonstrate that ice helps to repair an injury, and instead it tends to slow down the process of healing, because the cool temperature from the ice limits the amount of blood flow getting there. And this causes a temporary reduction in pain and swelling, although less swelling doesn't mean that the injury is recovering, because inflammation is crucial for the body to properly heal itself as fast as possible. For example, if you sprain your ankle or wrist, it will start to hurt and swell up, and then this causes important materials such as red blood cells to get transported through your bloodstream to begin the repairing process. And old damaged cells are removed through something called the lymphatic system, which is sort of like your bloodstream. And this transports the damaged cells away from the injury. Although unlike your circulatory system, it doesn't have something like a heart to pump blood through it. And this is important information for what I'm about to tell you. Ice drastically blunts this healing process, and we need to make sure we can get as much blood as possible to the area, and also activate the lymphatic system to recover the damaged tendon, ligament, or muscle. And the simplest way to do this, which is many times better than ice, is through exercise and movement of the injured area. Now, what you don't want to do is work through pain and actually cause the injury to become worse and more damaged. So you should use as much range of motion as possible that you can go through without experiencing pain. Even with no movement, doing an isometric exercise where you just flex your muscles, such as flexing your quad, will get more blood flow flowing through the joint, such as your knee in this case. You should train the injured area a few times a day if you can do it without pain, even with no resistance, to allow the body to repair itself as fast as it can. Muscles contracting and stretching will speed up this recovery process and healing by engaging both the circulatory system and the lymphatic system. Thank you for watching, and comment if you have any questions. Bye.